Hi guys. Hi Cynthia, I'm back. Okay, I'm just gonna, if you need to go do your thing, I'll be here. I'll be right back. I mean, I'll be here. Sorry. You can come back. I won't get started until probably 10 minutes in anyway. So, hi guys. Nice to see you. Okay. And yes, Cynthia is discussing, she asked, did anyone hear about Gates dumping attorneys? Yes, that was one of the news today, that I had only seen the news that he had two of the attorneys had resigned or something, or had left the case, and that was as far as I saw. And then I think was it Angelica? Somebody posted a link, I think, or I read something, or somebody else mentioned. Okay, yes, Petajo. So yes, guys. So it looks like that's what happened. And what else? Something about Hope Hicks. Oh, the story of Mark Corallo, I believe his name is. He was the PR person who left the campaign once, apparently, or that's how he says it. Okay, once he realized that it would be an obstruction of justice. Okay, what he was doing, or they were doing, or something. So there's that. Okay, and then there's so I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I put together here a pretty long post about what themes to do today. And so I don't know if you guys, because I was thinking, there's several options. We could either start with something smaller, or maybe leave. You know what I was thinking? Maybe these questions would be good for towards the end. Hi, so this is Terry Jones. So she goes by Jade on YouTube. I don't know if that's okay that I say this. Okay, so I call you Miss Jones, okay? Because we also have another Terry in the group. So, and she said she knows that there's another Terry in the group. So I was gonna say, yes. So about the theme for tonight. So I was thinking, since it's the 1st of February, we could look into where we are at in terms of the investigation, and the outlook for February for the investigation into the overall, and everybody, and obviously not everybody involved, but the big players, meaning first what stage the investigation is in, and then what's happening to Trump, Jared. Let's see here. I'm gonna just go back here to make sure. So Trump, Jared, Republicans, and then Mueller himself, meaning how he sees everything, from his mind, his internal perspective, and then Mueller's team, everybody that's basically what the team feels. Okay, the FBI, separate from, because I feel like the FBI is involved obviously in the Mueller investigation, but in a different way. So I feel like it's almost like we hit the center. I feel like if we look at the perspective, Mueller is looking towards the future, towards the next step, the big picture. The entire team is working on either the next, or assuring, looking at where they are and making sure everything is tied up. And the FBI is executing whatever they determine to be a good thing. So I feel like, not exactly minions, but soldiers, I think would be the good term. So I feel like they kind of start to, because once the FBI gets involved, that's when we know how far we really are. You know what I mean? In some ways, because I'm sure they're all involved in it in somehow. And so I feel like once basically they delegate further down the line, it means it will tell us something about how far we are. Okay. And I don't know, this is for Miss Jones. Terry's just joined. And if anybody who has just joined, I just want to tell you, sometimes this may drop, the video may drop, but the best thing to do is to just log off and come back if you can. Okay, so just this intro. Anyway, so I wanted to ask that, and then here there's more. So then the Democrats and the public. Okay, so basically, last time I made a mistake when I did the timeline for, forgot which timeline it was, but it was basically meant to be the year timeline. And I thought I was going to use, there's 36 cards basically, right? So I like to do the the reading with the the set of 4 cards. So I had to like go up to 9, right? Because 9, oh no, am I right? 36 divided by 4 is 9. Is that right? I think so. 9, yeah, okay. So that's right. Yeah. So that's that. So there's 9, meaning there's 9 mini topics. Okay. Hi Darcy, welcome. So there's 9 mini topics, okay? And what was I gonna say? And that's that. So I feel like that could give us a good entry into the reading. I don't know what do you guys think? Okay, I feel like, I mean, into the whole, it's sort of like it would give us a good overview. It's not going to be super specific about anyone, but I feel like it's going to give us a good, because I feel like if we understand everybody's perspective, then we look into, hi Diane, good to see you. So anyway, so hi Jen, hi everyone. Okay. So so Darcy is here. So she's from Canada. And she said, this is like how the bar is so funny. It's like the bar is so low. It's so low now that she's like, guys, our government works. She's like, right? That's like, right? It's funny. I mean, don't have to laugh, right? Because it's, or we're going to cry. No, we're not going to cry. So I'm not saying anything bad about Canada at all. It's just, it's funny. Okay, so anyway, so that's that. Let's get started. Let's just have an overall look for February, and then we can kind of get with the other smaller. I feel like the question about hope picks, or even a question about Rick Gates' lawyers, could be for the end. And you guys, I feel like I've said this before, but I did see that from the very beginning that Rick Gates was going to collaborate with Mueller. So I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know if he's trying to resist or something. I don't know exactly. So, okay. Anyway, so let's just focus on, so dear cards, dear light spirits, whoever takes care of the cards, unconscious, please tell us what's going on with the Mueller investigation. What's the outlook for the investigation in February of 2018? This is the first of the month, so please give us an overview as to how far we are from completion, the mood, and what's coming. Tell us what's going on in Mueller's mind and Mueller's team's mind, and the FBI, the Democrats, the public, as well as Trump, Jared, and the Republicans that support Trump. Okay, thanks. Oh my God. Diane said, because last video I had mentioned the thing about racism and Fox News, and I feel like Diane, I mean, I feel like a lot of times people may not even be conscious of that. You know what I mean? I feel like there's a spell. That's the thing about Trump and even Fox News. They put a spell on people. You know what I mean? In a way, I feel like they get this kind of like, it explains, it's very seductive because it explains everything. You know what I mean? So it's just, I don't know, they believe it all. You know? You know, it's funny. Okay. Okay. So guys, I'm just gonna close my eyes because I want to get, you know, focus on the reading. And I feel like sometimes I talk a lot. It's nice. I mean, once we start doing the reading, I talk more. But I'm like, you know, there's like a lot. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know. I find it fascinating how it's almost like I really believe it's like a spell, like something you know woke them up, and they're like, oh, it makes so much sense. It was like hidden or something, and then suddenly it all comes out. I don't know. It's fascinating. You know, the spell that it has, like, it's so seductive. And guys, this is reminding me of something, and I don't mean to be critical. No, not. This is it's a little unrelated, but I thought it was kind of funny. I think I did the reading on the Koch brothers, on how, and that at some point in that reading, I said something about how I thought that they were like, you know, would select the people who had no soul, sort of like almost as if they had no soul, and then inject their own ideas into them. And then someone left a comment. It was like, oh my God, what you were describing is the lizard people. The lizard people, you know, the UFO community knows all about them. And and I thought it was so fun. I mean, I guess I had never heard of it. And then it said that I did the search on the lizard people, and the lizard people are like actually fiction or something, you know, sort of like sci-fi, something like that. And it was like, and I was like, oh my God. I mean, I thought it, and I wrote to him, I was like, no, this is very interesting, but it's a figure of speech. It's not actually literally like that's going to happen. I thought it was like interesting. I mean, I don't know. It's just like, it's kind of funny. I feel like this connects, you know, the whole with the bot thing and the conspiracy theory. It's like we're at the edge of the internet where like everything is, I mean, it's kind of exciting, you know? I don't know. Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. All right, guys. So, oh, you know what? I don't have, it's okay. Because I don't have my, I was going to get some Post-it notes to remember all of the 9 things, but I'll do it okay. Okay, so here's that. So the first question is, what stage are we in? Okay, let's see. Let's see if this is funny, because this, I think yesterday, this is the whole thing for, oh my God, Trey Gowdy. It was the same thing. Yeah, Trey got it. Seen it before. Like, it's weird because it's the same. I think this was exactly the same cards that showed up for him. And I find it, I'm always a bit startled when this happens. Because it's like, I don't know. I'm like, how come I find it like I cannot believe it. Because it's like, oh, look, I'm just going to go back. Trey got it. It's like, I only wanted to look like Justin Bieber. Anyway, so it's just, I'm sorry, I'm like startled because I don't understand how it happens. You know, when it happens, I can't explain it, because you shuffle, and then the two, because in order for the two sets to coordinate the same card, I find it very strange. So maybe, you know what? Maybe it's Trey. Trey got it. Mueller, I'm here. I got a lot of information to give you. Right? Something like that. Like, maybe this is it. Oh my God, look. Good news. Good news, okay. Oof. Oof. Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah, it's like he has an addiction. No, because I didn't sing the part that's the pre-chorus. The pre-chorus was like, it's more than just treason. I got an addiction. It's plastic surgery. And then it starts, when I look in the mirror. Anyway, I have to, oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, so this is, it's so strange. I'm still kind of like processing that it's still Trey Gowdy over here. Oh my God, I'm just kind of try to get closer. Trey Gowdy over here, the snake. Okay, the question is, what's the stage of this? It's not looking so exciting. I don't know. Defeat. Okay, yeah, so anyway, defeat with the snake. Okay, the snake is defeated or helped defeat. And I feel like, so this is the card of, okay, see if maybe it's too bright. I don't know. So this is the card of a person who's not, it's like the battle, the last battle card. And, oh no, what happened? Okay, I don't know, whatever. So this is the last battle card, okay? And when I see it, to me, it means they're willing to, when you're willing to do anything, like no matter what. Right, and I think that tells us a lot about them, right? Because they want to, they want, right? They could make deals with the enemy or whatever, anything, okay? And this is the tree, and like I said before, the tree is their org chart. Everybody involved in this, okay? So this is, guys, this is so weird, you know, just I feel like I have to believe that it's true, that it's Trey Gowdy over here. You know what I mean? Trey Gowdy. I'm talking to Mueller. So here, yeah, this, it's interesting because isn't it, I don't know if you guys, I'm not super like Bible freak. Okay, I don't know a lot about the Bible. I know I study the Bible more in our history classes, but wasn't the snake in the Bible there was like a tree involved also? I don't remember, or was just the apple thing. I don't remember. Anyway, so I feel like there's a Adam and Eve. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. So basically, like here we have the snake in the tree. So I feel like what this is saying is really that it's confirming, I believe, probably, right? Oh, that's right, apple tree. Interesting. Yeah, it's like the sin. Ooh, hit the apple. Oh no. Uh-oh. So I feel like what this is saying, I feel like it's a confirmation. Oh, good and evil. Yes. Oh my God. Oh my God. I feel it makes so much, it's like crazy. You know, I feel like the symbolism is so interesting because you could talk about it for hours. You know what I mean? It's like, I find it still very strange how it explains stories so quickly. You know how I feel like, I know maybe it's me, but I mean, throughout my life, I over-intellectualized many things, especially when I was younger. And so it's interesting because all these systems of storytelling are very direct, much more direct than I usually would think of things. Anyway, so here, talking about the snake in the tree, meaning one of them is talking about, I believe that this is just because yesterday we had Trey Gowdy. It's probably Trey Gowdy talking about the tree of people who would do anything, because the card here is the person who's do anything to win. And you know what, guys? Actually, I remember reading this, exactly, the network. I remember reading this on Twitter. Okay, right? Somebody writing, and I remember, I think maybe yesterday even I saw it. They said the Republicans are willing to do anything to win an election. And I think that's it. Okay, so there's one of them probably talking, okay, about the network and what they're willing to do. And this is a card of messages. Okay, it's usually good messages, but it's a message of some sort. And a message from the group of people or about the network. Okay. And here we have the spy. The spy is here. Okay, what is it? The mice. Okay. The mice. Network of spies. Was it the mice? Network of spies. Okay. The mice. Network of spies took over this country until Mueller put the rat poison and killed them all. Okay. Yeah, so this is like the spies, okay, and the mice. So we know it's so funny, guys. Isn't it strange? Because I feel like the Republicans, whenever this is like them, right? I used to think, oh, this is just corruption. And as the reading goes on, it's strange that it becomes some elements sort of start to own some cards, okay? And that's it. So it's just the spy elements within the rats. So some are more spy than others, more corrupt than others. Yeah, so Jen said, amazing how he obstructs justice out in the open. It's just normal now. Yeah. The Republicans have been in bed for, yeah. You know what it is, guys? You know, it's just kind of bringing something back here to me about the reading. I forgot which reading was that. There was one reading when I saw this, the whole underground network of all the voting corruption. And I have a feeling, I could be wrong, that it's almost like I think the Russians could have the information about them doing illegal things. And that's how they could be blackmailing them as well. Because I feel like it's a multitude of factors. It's like, we give you money, but then we also have, because if they only had one thing, you would be like, okay, fine, you know, okay, whatever, we could deal with that. But if not, then, you know what I mean? I feel like they must have a lot that they're playing with here, right? Because these people are criminals, right? That's the thing. Okay, so I feel like this, guys, this is kind of interesting, the combination here. So this is, here is the card of messages, okay? The messages from the network related to the network. And then at the bottom, we have the spy, something about the spy and the corruption. So what I feel here that it means is that they have messages that confirm that some of the people among these rats are spies. Like spies in any, I mean, I think this is a broad term, right? I think that it's not saying exactly what they do in terms of, like, I don't even know the different kinds of spying a person can do, but what I mean is that they're working for the other side. Okay, so what this tells me here, the message is that there is evidence. They have evidence of this somehow. Okay, the spying, right? The spying, the corrupt, because basically the network is corrupt. So the corrupt network, messages about the corrupt network of spies, messages from, okay, or about. And here again, the Mueller has an informant within the corrupt, because again, this is, I'll show you guys here. Let's look at this like this. First, we got this, and then this. So we have basically the snake among them, among their family, and the snake that knows the network, the snake within the network, okay, and the corruption. So the snake is aware of the corruption and has the messages from the network that show this. You know, guys, you know what I'm thinking? This is just a broad thing, okay? The network here, I wonder if it could be some sort of computer network as well, right? Because this is a network of people in our org chart, and this has multiple, like it network on a broader sense. So I almost feel like either there's like a network of messages or people that are because I think this is probably just the Republicans, but here is the greater network of like maybe donors or actual, maybe, you know, the actual contact people for the different kinds of networks. So just a larger network than just the tree. Okay, so that's what I think this says. It's saying that now they basically have proof that people in the Republican Party are corrupt, in the sense that they are working for the other side, and there are messages that prove this. Okay, so that's that. I'm going to put that aside. And then now we have Trump. So what does the month look like for Trump in terms of the Mueller investigation? Okay. Okay, 1 second. I'm gonna have some tea. Mm. So Donna, I just checked. There was a message from Donna. I think she's not able. Is Donna? Are you on? I don't know if she can get on or if she knows that it's on. I don't know. Anyway, so what's going on with Trump now? Interesting. Okay. This is I was gonna say, this is so. This person has a P. Oh, I know, Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell. Remember Turtle? Like the green here. What was it? Yeah, I think this is Mitch McConnell. And yeah, so what was I gonna say? Yeah, so here's Mitch McConnell, guys, and then the child. So something related to Mitch. I don't know. Let's just think that this is Mitch McConnell. I don't know if that's exactly him, but that's Trump. Okay, so the something related to Mitch McConnell and the child. Theft in the White House. Okay. Theft by the White House. Okay. And so yeah, so the child basically a child in the White House is scheming to steal something. You know, guys, I'm thinking this may actually, I wonder if this relates to the memo. Okay, the memo, that memo, because I feel like, I wonder if this could also be Nunes. Someone is scheming with Trump to steal something. Okay. And if it's showing here, because I'm asking here, what's the state of something in the White House? I feel like Mueller is going to use this, okay? Or if I feel like he's trying, or maybe Trump is trying to steal something, okay, so that in order to prevent something else. So now we have madness card. This is the moon upside down, to me means madness. And then we have the whip, which means aggression, okay? Yeah. Aggression and fighting. So I feel like he's crazy. It's kind of like exactly explains the thing I was talking about the other day, right? About the vision I had about him fighting and yelling and all the madness. And he's like fighting what's not there, what's there and what's not there. So he's like seeing things that don't exist. Okay, so he's aggressive. This is and this is interesting because this is the card, is one of my latest kind of more interesting cards. It's a card of a decision was made against this person, and the veil of justice, like the blind veil comes off, so it becomes known. And this becomes known by the dog. And I could interpret here this person being, either this means Mueller or it could mean Nunes. But I think, you know what I feel, the sense I get here is because the dog is always the good person. I feel like in this context, it means that the aggression on the good person. So there's aggressive, like the crazy guy, right? The madness and the aggression is going towards the good person, but the good person ultimately makes the decision against him. Okay, so I feel like this, what I believe this is saying, okay, is that the theft. And if you think about it, guys, like what they're trying to do with this memo, if I understand it correctly, is to give away intelligence secrets. put it in the public eye so that other countries, we know who they are, right? The countries they want to please have access to this information. So they're really pushing it basically, because if you think about it, that's stealing, right? That's like if a person works at the, I don't know, FBI or CIA and does that, then they go to jail, right? If they're like a lowly person who does that, because they're giving intelligence information away, not just for, it's not for free because they're getting paid, right, in a way or another, but they're recklessly doing this. So I feel like what this is saying is that the aggression by the child in the White House, the basically bullying child who's crazy, is going to backfire, because this person, and I feel like this could mean two things. Okay, the loyalists, the house has a loyal people, has friends, and they exert the aggression. But I also think that here it backfires. Okay, I believe that this will backfire because you have the card of the truth comes out in the end. Okay, so he tries to cheat because this is the cheating card, right? It's not just that, but if you think about it on basic terms, it just means cheating. Okay, so the cheat wants to, he's aggressive. He tries to get, yeah, exactly. So it's just like, basically, I think what happens is he gets probably charged with this theft in a way or another. Okay, it works against him ultimately. Okay, all right, so that's Trump. Now we go to we go to Jared, right? That's Jared. Oh no, Jared. Oh my God. Jared. Oh no. Oh my God, Jared. Oh no, Jared. He's just doesn't deserve it, Jared. No, he doesn't deserve it. Oh God. Oh no. So this is basically the first card here is the people connected, like doing the wrong works, okay, and trying to, like, basically they're trying to, create the devil's land in the world, obviously, right? That's what they do. I'm not sure they succeed, and this is interesting because it's a card of change, transformation, and also movement and receipt of something. Okay, so that's I think, okay, so that's it. We'll see how it connects to the bottom. So at the bottom we have the harvest. Okay, and I feel like, what I get the sense here is that he's done, I feel like if we look at his context, right, he's done all this shady work, like top criminal work, okay, to improve his station, which is the stork, right, to make life better for himself so that he could pay off his building that he overpaid for 10 years ago, okay. And this is, if it worked the way the plan he had, if it had worked out, he would harvest, right? He would collect it. But we have the coffin on top of it. So the moment when he thinks he's going to get it, he's going to get his payback, like payoff. Sorry, Jared. I'm so sorry. Oh, it doesn't work. So the progress that he wanted, right? The corruption that he was willing to do in order to improve himself doesn't work because that ends. So the plan that he had to move on to better waters doesn't work because he can't collect the money for whatever reason. Okay, so, well, it doesn't say that he can't collect the money. It says that the whole plan dies. I feel like now it's actually pretty clear, the game, like his game, essentially. If you look at it, it's like, I'll do whatever so I can get better things for myself, but then it ended. Okay. Exactly. Jean says some psychics have indicated there's a cable from computer, from tower. Yeah, so Jean is asking about, I think I think Jean, there's maybe a different, maybe it could also be that, but I think in this case it's money because we have a lot of money cards. But she brought up something which is I've never looked into this, but it's the connection between Alpha Bank and Trump Tower. Apparently there's all these like server connections. Okay. So, oh yes, and the other thing, Angelica said, high-end real estate is worst shape in New York since Russian sanctions. And the other thing I forgot about this, guys, I said this the other time and I forgot. This is a great reminder, Angelica, that I see this card as a real estate card in a way, because I think this is the Middle Ages, and they were building a church and they were negotiating with the artisan, okay, on how to pay it. So I feel like these are like real estate projects specifically, especially if we think of him, he's a real estate developer, then this has definitely to do with real estate projects, okay, because it's a construction of something, the plan of finishing up something. So yeah, so basically the plan, I don't think his whole deal is, we're going to go do this. I'm going to get some deals done. I'm going to get better. I'm going to improve my station in the world, but this is over, okay? Because he got caught. Basically, he got caught. The money got intercepted, or he got caught, okay? And there's another card here, the money, wrong money. So it's like the wrong focus. So he has a different wrong focus behind the scenes, right? Because the clouds on top of it. Clouds meaning confusion and doubt, but basically problems. But I think in the context of what we have been looking at, this investigation, it just means that the behind the scenes wrong work that he was doing for money will be uncovered, or has been uncovered, okay? And at last, he's an idiot, okay? It's like a fool. The fool upside down is a complete idiot, meaning a person who took too many risks, okay? Yeah, he took too many risks. Like it's like foolish risks, because the fool upright is actually very good, because it means you're starting something new. It's a new project. You have new, like, childlike energy. But if it's upside down, that means that's when it confirms the whole thing about the fool, like being truly foolish. Be careful to not take too many risks. And I think we have the book card here, meaning the risky stuff he's done, and he may probably, if it's like this, it's probably I don't know that he regrets it, because I don't know that he has a conscience, but it makes him look very foolish. Okay, so basically, all this is kind of amazing. I feel like the other thing that it says here is that the money trail that they have pursued will have uncovered by the end of the month his secrets. Okay, he's like all the foolish stuff he's done in desperation to improve his station in life. So basically, the hidden stuff, and even this is also a card related to flights, right? It's like the birds flying, but meaning airplane flights. So he went abroad, okay, in order to pursue these projects, and that's unclear. Like it's like this the market travel. That it's like, this is actually makes me think it's foreign in some way, not necessarily related to Russia, but abroad. So the projects, or his travel that he did abroad to acquire money, okay, and collect it, it was hidden behind the scenes, right? It's like it's uncovered. It's going to be uncovered, the uncovered secret, and a death, an ending to the secret. So the secret ends him, and there's an ending to the secret, right? So I feel like this month is the nail in the coffin. Oh, actually, it's funny. I forgot about the card, the coffin card, that it's actually here, but it's here. The coffin. Basically, this is the nail in the coffin for Jared. That's it. Because if the cards are saying this, it means that this is going to come out. I don't know if it comes out publicly, but in terms of the investigation, they nail him. Okay, it's done. The coffin. Okay, the coffin and the secret. Ending of the secret. The progress is halted, right? The travel is halted. It could even be that he's prevented from traveling. But all of this, because guys, there's 1, 2, 3 cards, 3 money cards, three money cards upside down. So all the wrong, shady stuff that he's done for money, it's probably been uncovered by now. Okay. And that had, and all of it, because you also have the fool upside down, which means that was so foolish. He's done some the high crimes and misdemeanors, but he's done it out of being dumb. Like, he's so dumb. The cards are saying this guy's dumb. Like, in the sense of, like, you're a fool. Like, who deals with these people who are like much smarter than you are? Just because you're like, for a year you were powerful, it doesn't mean you're like, you get excluded from making dumb. Yeah, exactly. Dumb moves. Okay, so now the Republicans. Okay, Republicans that support Trump. Oh no, painful. Oh no, oh no, oh my God. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh my God. So this is kind of interesting. So this is also a kind of aggression. They're kind of like being kind of like how they are now, kind of being like, oh, Mueller, he's like overstepping his boundaries. He's not doing this or whatever. I'm gonna say that the FBI is wrong. Like, you know, they're bullshit because it's like this is the page of wands. So it's like a child with energy, but like instead of using the energy in a good way, they use it in a negative way. Okay. So what do we have here? Uh-oh, scythe. You think you're smart, but the scythe comes and cuts you off, right? You're like, they think they're smart. Like basically their bullshit kills them. Like, you mess with the FBI, they bring the scythe and cut your head off. They bring the scythe. Exactly, arrogance. I think this is good. This is good, Jen. Okay, arrogance, exactly. They come to, oh no, oh no. So I was rereading, guys, today. I was doing some rereading on some little books I have here on how I'm combining the cards, and I feel like I'm not making serious mistakes, but the order is very important. But so when the scythe is on top, or the first card, is worse because it's saying it's really gonna cut. Okay, so it's like this is a gift or invitation, and money. Okay, so financial issues. Okay, so the scythe cut. It's like yeah, the scythe is gonna be a surprise. Okay, in terms of their gifts. Yeah. Oh my God. And this is interesting because this is a card of somebody making plans, and I was listening to this woman. I forgot what is her name? I forgot her name, but there's a channel. I have to write it down next time I'll talk about it because it's a great channel if people are learning Lenormand. She's a great, like, she talks about the cards. So sometimes I like to listen to look at books or listen to what other people say, like what they think or their tips or something. Sometimes we disagree, but she was saying about this card, it's how the world sees you. So it's your recognition, but it's your I've said that before, position in the world, but essentially how the world sees you. So there's a plan here. They're making a plan, and this plan affects how they are seen in the world. So there's something about their plans. Okay, so they have plans. Those plans are going to be cut because you have the scythe. And then what do we have here? Painful landing for the Republicans. Painful ending. You fuck with the FBI. Painful ending. Right? It's funny. Like, so they have here's the ring. So it's like the deal kills them. Okay. All right. So let's look at it now together. So I feel like they had plans, right? This is a beginning stages. So they had their cute little plans because this is the 2 of wands. So whenever you have those early numbers in any element, it means that the thing hasn't really happened yet. It's at the very early stages. So even though they think they're clever, they're like, we're going to really, yeah, it's like, I don't know. It's like they think they're so clever. Okay. And then they're like, oh, you know, it's gonna be okay. We have plans. We're doing this. We're so clever. That's the thing. They think they're so smart. It's like me trying to like become like, I don't know, a sprint runner against some woman who's like a champion, a world champion. I'd be like, you know what, bitch? I'm gonna go be ahead. I'm gonna win this race. Okay, whatever. It's like me like that. And then the woman's like, okay, bye. It's like I lift a foot and she already is ahead. It's like so much higher. You know what I mean? The levels of like ability and strength is just very unbalanced because we're dealing with people here who are not very good. So basically, I guess what I'm saying here is that this is the level 2. They're the level 2 of plans. And then at them comes number 10 of death. So it's like, boom. You think you're like, oh, 10 swords come and kill you. So basically, essentially, this deal that they make is their ending, and that's going to affect their reputation. Okay, so they have these cute plans about where they're going to be, but the deal affects how they are perceived in the world, okay? And then together, again, the scythe is obviously a negative card. And we have here an end to the reputation and an end to the gift. And I think what this probably means here, because we have this too, because the gift isn't free, right? So we know that they got the money, or they got the money for something. The purpose of the money, and here's the deal, right? So the deal they had was that it's like they got the wrong money, and then there's a deal, and the deal basically, I'm repeating myself here, killed the reputation, but essentially something about the way they survive, because this is also like how others see you, especially if you're a politician, is how you live. So if they cut off if Mueller's like, we're gonna cut the money, it's over, you know what I mean? Because they've done all of it for money. So if the money is cut somehow, or it's discovered, then they can't have the reputation either. So if you cut the money, you cut the reputation. And because the reputation was built by a deal, right? So it's interesting here. It's saying that there's something here. And I remember now, I'm saying this because I remember when I did the reading about why the Republicans are retiring. I remember well that it said something like, there's going to be a revelation of a lot of money, and that's going to kill them. Something like a large amount of money or something like that's going to come out that they received, and that's going to be very destructive to them. And I feel like it probably happens in February, okay? That's what I think. It's saying it here pretty quickly, okay? All right, so we have here now we go to, let's just double check. Now we go to the good people. Okay, so we got the Republicans. Now we'll look at Mueller. What's going on? Mueller himself, i.e. what he's thinking and perceiving in February. So I feel like he has the big picture. He sees the strategy or what's next, like kind of further down future and so forth. Okay, somebody had a question. Let's see. Okay, one second. One second, guys. Yeah, so anyway, so that's the story. Okay. Anyway, somebody was trolling. So anyway, so basically, yeah. So basically, essentially, let's think of like, what is Mueller thinking? Okay, what is his okay here, what is going on in his mind? Ooh. Ooh. Oh my god. Okay, just 1 second, guys. Just want to, yeah, so what's going on in his mind? What does he have? Like how, how he's like strategizing basically, okay? 1 second. Anyway, doesn't matter. So yeah, basically, I'll show you guys. Oh, kind of nice. Okay, so all right. So here he is like, this is a card of Ace of Cups, meaning not apathy, but kind of like sadness a little bit, okay? And this is a opportunity. So I feel like he's doing, he's thinking kind of, I feel like this is a question that we all have. Why is it taking so long? I think he's waiting for the right opportunity. He feels like it's like, because this is a card of like, kind of like that. So I feel like he feels like the opportunity hasn't come yet necessarily. Okay. Now, this is just, like I said, I like to see the pairs together, and then it changes the meaning when we look at the other cards together. Okay. So, okay. So this is interesting. This is the debts. So he finds that he has the debts. Okay. This is a quid pro quo, but when it's like this, he knows this is the debt when when the money, like you owe something to someone, and what do we have? Guilt. So he feels like he already has it. He has the debt, okay? Somehow already has the debt. And this is a misleading, like emotionally misleading. And what do we have here? Letter. Haha. So it's an, I don't know if this could be a proof. This could be a document. Could be documents or indictments, okay? So anyway. So that's interesting, okay. All right, so here we have, yeah, so yeah, we'll see how it connects together. And this is disappointment, and this is a lot of money. So let's see how it, okay, guys, let's see how it connects together, okay? Now, this is it's kind of great. Like, actually, now looking at this is actually great because I feel like he has opportunity for guilt in the sense that if he's a prosecutor, he's like, it's enough to to charge them with, you know, with guilt. They have something. Okay. And these are documents. Okay. These opportunity. It's also, I feel like he says he has opportunities probably to indict people in some way, but I think opportunity for documents or opportunity to there. What is that legal? I don't know the legal term, but it's like, I guess maybe subpoena when you ask for documents. They have opportunity to get documents that prove something. So guilty money, okay, guilty money and letters that prove the money, probably documents that show money, and opportunity for indictments. Discovery, that's right, Julie said this is discovery, yeah. So I feel like I'm trying to think here. I'm gonna close my eyes here. I feel like he has enough. I feel like from his perspective, he has enough that he could charge people with guilt. Okay, he could charge them, but I feel like it's not exactly the time yet. Okay, I feel like it could, because I feel like this card means it's like he has an opportunity, but it doesn't mean that it's final. So I feel like he wants a little bit more, okay? Because I think he wants to have a totally closed, like he wants the case. I feel like from his perspective, he sees a few little holes, not holes, you know, for us, it's not a hole, but for him, he's such a perfectionist that he wants to nail everything completely. Okay. So I think it's like also the opportunity for documents would probably mean that he can indict more people, possibly, because if he wants to get documents, then he needs to get them from someone. Okay. So, and you know, guys, the whole thing with Rick Gates, right? So the whole thing, if it's true that he's going to collaborate with him, he is the source to a lot of financial documents, right? We know that. So so that's interesting. Okay, so I find that kind of fascinating. That I think that's what I feel like. I feel like he has the opportunities. This is making sense now. The opportunity for documents come when he gives out indictments. So I feel like he's kind of weighing things a little bit to make sure. Yeah, he extended Flynn for 90 days. So I feel like essentially what he's doing is he is extending the he feels like he has to balance out. He does not want to give out everything. Like I feel like he does not want to indict people now. Like he wants to do it at once when he has everything together. Boom, everybody at once, they go. So he's like kind of actually holding the cards tight to his chest because he does not want to share, because he's saying like the problem is when you indict someone, the lawyers they know now what he has on them. So he's like, that I don't want to, okay. I feel like he's like, I want to give them almost nothing so that they're wandering, and that's like, he's like, they're wandering, they're like rats, you know, they're like, where's my meal? Where am I going to survive? They want that tension. They want to push it as farther as possible so that when he comes, right? Exactly. So I feel like, but that's the thing, Gene. Like, I feel like from his perspective, he's annoyed. Of course, you know, it's like there's some emotional cards. He's a little bit annoyed, but I feel like he's like, he's a mature man. You know, he knows he's like, oh, I could like, I don't want to give in to my ego, because, you know, if it was probably for anybody who had like a bigger ego, it'd be like, bitches, shut up. Like, here's me, you know. But I feel like he's very quiet. He's like very, you know, he's like, whatever. It's like, because I feel like for him, it's like when he comes out, it's like, you're done, dead, bye. Like, he doesn't even talk. Like, he doesn't, like, his sense of aggression. And by the way, I've talked about the guy Rick I forgot, I cannot spell his name, say his name correctly. Geotosh something. Rick Ved Geotosh, I think. I don't know how to say his name correctly, but he's a Vedic astrologer, and he posted a video that said, oh no, I was listening to several of his videos. He made one about Mueller, and he said that Mueller is actually very aggressive. He doesn't have all his birth information, but he says he's actually a very aggressive person. That may not see it, but actually he is a very aggressive person, right? Because he wasn't, like, unlike somebody that we know, he actually fought real battles. Okay, like, if you think about it, right? He fought real battles. He was not just talking. He didn't have bone spurs. So anyway, so basically that's what I get here. Okay. Anyway, so that's like he's weighing. He's like, really, because I feel like from his perspective, he's like, I have I have more power when they know nothing. That's his strategy. He's like, I need to like not make them wonder, make them scared, make them, you know, and all those stuff. And I feel like the thing is like, once the whole Rick Gates thing goes, that's like shit's gonna hit the fan. Okay, so that's what I feel. That's his mindset. Okay, now we're gonna go to his team. Okay, so what Mueller's team? What's going on with the team? What are they doing? What are they seeing? Because he is the strategy guy, right? So basically, okay. So, yeah. So this is, you know, oh my God, this is kind of interesting. So, okay, so this is, what's his name? Con artist. Okay. Con artist. Again, it's Dotard in his con artistry. Dotard is gonna go. Sorry. Dotard is gonna jail. Dotard. Okay, so this is some financial issue, wrong money issue from Dotard. Okay. Yeah, the shady stuff. It's like he's a trickster. He's doing trickstery things with money. That's where they're focusing on. Okay. Dotard thought he was gonna survive. Dotard, he thought he was smart. Okay. Oh my God. The world, yeah. So anyway, so basically, okay, so yeah, so basically this is like they're looking at all the basically the money, shady money stuff and all this like, you know what I'm getting, guys? I'm getting the moment where, like, you know, the whole thing with Trump, that he's like sells the condos and he's like the showman, he's like the salesman and all that stuff, and he gets the shit in exchange for that, he gets, yeah, like no longer, yeah, exactly. So he gets basically like the connection between him selling and what his role is in the money laundering operation. Okay, so I feel like that's where they're figuring it out now. Like, what is the connection between the salesman and how, like, what's the whole MO for the money laundering? Okay, this is what it is here. And then at the same time, this is kind of good. This is a card of a breakthrough. Okay, energy and breakthrough. Okay, exactly. Gene is saying that is exactly why Trump and Nunes are doing memo, trying to get Mueller to give out information to explain where FBI investigation is. He has such strength. Yes, yes. So I feel like he's holding himself because in a way, like he's so angered by what they're doing, but he can't do it. He shouldn't do anything because they're all, like, and you saw at the beginning of the reading, that's going to backfire majorly for all of them. Okay, because they're going to charge them with that. I feel like what's going to happen is whoever is involved in this is going to get like a serious spy charge. Okay. So, okay. All right. So okay. So this is, guys, energy, burst of energy about the election. Now, this is interesting. Okay. And this is the ship we have here. They like now I feel like their focus, they're focusing on two things: the election, like what they may have actually done in the election itself. Okay, this is the ship, and I want to show you guys, because I never mentioned Hillary, and I don't think it ever is about Hillary, except this time I think it is, because this is, you see the blonde lady upside down. Okay, so they want to wrong her. The whole purpose of the election was, here's the ship, so their purpose for doing this was to wrong her. Okay, so the foreign power wants to, like, literally turned her upside down, and which they did. So this is it. Cross here, the election, like the elections, and the let's see, the election that had the foreign influence in the election and what they did to wrong her. Okay, and here it connects beautifully, because I feel like it's saying Dotard and his salesmanship, you know, in the election stuff, and the shady deals, behind the scene deals, wrong money deals that he did with the Russians in order to wrong Hillary. Okay, because yeah, Rocket's got saying here how crazy how the cards are lining up. Yeah, it's kind of crazy, right? So I feel like what I'm getting here, guys, is that there are several teams, and I think this is not private or anything. I think I've read something like that. Like, they have different subject matter experts, or whatever you call them. So I feel like this is, well, it's more than subject matter experts. They're actual lawyers with this expertise. But basically, there's a team that's looking at the money laundering, the sales, and how the money laundering operates, and another team that's looking at exactly what Russia was doing. So that's what they're doing now. They're really establishing, like, they're kind of getting to the point where they get able to explain the money laundering operation, and then exactly what I feel like this side here, it's like they're looking at the Russian like what they wanted and what they've done. Okay, they're looking at what they've wanted and what they've done. Okay, exactly. Yeah, no, I feel like the whole thing is propaganda. They're bringing up her name as propaganda. But what I think this is saying here is that the Hillary is here because this is the connector, right? It's interesting because if you think about it, right, the whole thing we know that that's very public, that Putin hates her because she stood up against him, and he doesn't like women in general. And then also because Trump hated her because she was against him in the election. So they all had the common enemy. They had the common goal, which was the election, right? And they had the common enemy, which was Hillary. Okay, so this is like the shady dealings he's done through his money laundering operation that he already did before as a salesman, and how that contributed to assisting Russia with the election. I feel like, because it's like, I feel like for them, they're figuring out what Russia is doing, but what the Americans had to give them in order to facilitate them. I feel like that's where they're like kind of looking into. Not just they're determining they've done A, B, C, or D, but what among the things they've done do they need help from the Americans to do? Okay, because obviously, although it is about whatever Russia may have done, it's all, the ultimate goal here is to establish who collaborated with them and help them do this. Because more and more, it's clear that they could not have done this alone, okay, on their own. Okay, exactly. All right. Yeah, and I feel like the whole Hillary thing too, I feel like I've said this before, the Russians are extremely clever with mental like manipulation. So they're like, we just want to help you. I know we understand Hillary is a horrible person. They went along, they all got together. They like, oh, she's our enemy. You know what I mean? So it was like an easy contact. It wasn't that they were like, oh, we need to win the election. It was like, let's, get rid of this horrible woman. Like, you know what I mean? It was like, for them, it was a way they had something in common. Okay, there was kind of a common enemy. Okay, so this was, okay, this is his team. And now the FBI. Okay, now, exactly. Let's look at. No, I don't think Angelica St. Putin likes Angela Merkel. They must have rubbed shoulders back in Ireland. Yeah, who knows? Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just, but actually, Angelica, the thing, I don't know what your language, if you're German, I don't know, but basically, I saw this thing, I was like, found it very, okay, interesting, okay. because I saw Angelica this whole thing, this photo, or maybe a video of Angela Merkel and Putin, and he brought a dog. So he brought a dog to their meeting, and the press was there, and she was terrified. And it said, because he knew, I mean, he was in the KGB, so he knows the stuff. So he knew that she was terrified of dogs. So he brought it to their public meeting just to scare her on purpose. Like, he was like really, you know, very kind of manipulative. Like, you know, so I feel like that's what he's good at, understanding like what the weaknesses are. Not weaknesses in terms of like, you know, how do you say it? Like simple, like, oh, I want this, you give me that. But no, kind of like how to weak their mind, you know. And she was like this, you know, because she was really scared of dogs apparently. And yeah, she was like this, like she was not calm, you know, during the meeting. So that's why. Okay. Anyway, so now FBI. Okay, so this is the let's look at the FBI. FBI, what's going on with FBI? Okay, FBI at large. Interesting. Oh, this is kind of interesting. So this is the sun upright. It's like generally a very positive card, and like I've said, a lot of times now I see the sun as a card of like what's being exposed. Okay, and this is news and messages. So I feel like, you know how the whole thing they were saying that they have messages of someone, or whoever was the other guy. They said, oh, he was sending messages about like nothing. They were trying to make a big deal out of messages. Okay, so these are the messages are exposed. Okay, some sort of messages. And here we have, which makes sense. Okay, this is a broken heart. They're upset, obviously, right? Because this is obstacles. Okay. And so this is like, this is also a card of obstruction. So they're being, they see it clearly that they're bringing out these messages, okay? These messages to create obstruction. So they're really upset that these messages came to light, and they bring obstruction. Okay, so that's a sign of obstruction. Now I wonder what could also mean, because this whole thing, because this thing is in the it's in the FBI, meaning I think what they're doing, okay, or what like it's not being, it could also that they're doing this, okay. So I feel like this could either be that they themselves, what is it called? Leak. I don't know if it's, it could be either way, that they leak messages and information about the obstruction and what they've done, and that it creates a heartbreak for the others, okay? Or that they are upset that messages, internal messages, or maybe that's the whole memo thing, okay? It's coming out that in order to create obstruction. And this is a card of manipulation, manipulative person, manipulation. Meant like sort of like the, I call it the American Psycho. That sort of like is exactly right, the situation. Public manipulation. So they are targets of public manipulation, right? So news that becomes public, so these messages become public. Now here, the public anchor, meaning, okay, well here, this is a card of aggression, extreme aggression, okay? Bullying, to make it, and I feel like what happens, I feel like this is resolve. They respond by having extreme resolve, okay? So I feel like they're really trying to to sink this. They try to really affect the public opinion, okay? So I feel like what happens is like there's news of a opposition, to the public. News of opposition becomes public, and opposition that's been going on a long time, okay? So it's possible that I feel like it's possible also that it may expose that maybe the FBI exposes, okay, makes public all the obstruction that has been going on for a long time. Okay, this is also, I feel like it's entirely possible that they, as a, because this is a card, what happens to the FBI, okay, that there's the stuff coming out to make, that's what we're seeing now, right, to create a sense of obstruction. But I think how they retaliate is that they show messages or communications that speak of a long-term obstruction in the public eye and how they have been manipulated, okay? I don't get a sense, I feel like their revenge is going to come later, but I think they have their own way, okay, of exposing how they have been doing this for longer. Okay, so now we have, what happens to Democrats? Okay, Democrats, what's going on? Okay, yeah. So this is changes in leadership. So they're dealing with a lot of moving, like, balls in the air and stuff. So this is their leadership. And they're being very combative, very competitive. I feel like they're really being aggressive towards, like, the government. I mean, I feel like to protect the investigation, or basically aggressive in the Congress. And I feel like they're being very aggressive, and they're dealing with all the changes. Okay, so the leadership in the government. So they're being aggressive, they're pushing it, and they're either creating change or dealing with small change, like all the balls in the air. And this is like, this reading is great, guys. Seriously, this is a quiet in the, like, behind the scenes. Okay, there's a key. So I feel like also they become as they become aware, and there's people telling them, look, we're almost there. We have it. They get stronger as time progresses. They get stronger and stronger and stronger because they know the truth is coming. And so here's the key. And the key, I've said before, is a very good card. Is a card of solution, of answer, prayers answered. Okay, so, okay. And here is like the world and the heart. So the world is happy. So they're happy that I feel like I feel like what they sense is that they carry the right values. They feel like a very strong sense of purpose here. And that it's like, I feel like the tide has turned on their behalf here. That's what I feel like, because the values connect with the world. You know what I mean? So, and that the key here, the answer is that the values connect with the world, and then they know stuff behind the scenes. Okay, so here we have, connecting these, we have the key is that the leadership has the right values, and the world is happy for them or with them. So the leadership in the government has the answer, and basically, I think already knows that they got the guy nailed. And that strengthens them because I feel like they step up in terms of the leadership, in the country, I think, and in the world. They're like, we speak the voice of the world. So we fight, they have they fight within the government, and they're handling all these different changes, and they have the answer. Okay. They know the answer behind the scenes. And then the last 4 cards here, we have what the public. Okay, so what does the public have? The public sees how they were implementing plans. Russia was implementing the plans they had been implementing these wrongful plans. And they look into, interesting, could also be related to the tax bill, because it's like holding on to money. Okay. Oh, sorry. Oh my God. I'll grab this. Okay. And this is, so anyway, so Sun here, holding on to money, the lady. Yeah, they basically, I feel like greed, so I feel like they were implementing these plans because they wanted to hold on to what they have. There's a greater look into what their plans were and how they're like holding on to money. And then here, There's a lot of talk. I feel like the public is, you know, conversation. The country is very unhappy and everybody's being vocal about it. Oh, and this is good. This is a group of people behind the scenes, okay? And the man here. Now let's see. I want to just think about who this person might be. Just because this is the public. What's the public opinion or public talking about? Okay. Okay. So I feel like there's a lot of conversation about their plans. The country is it's talking a lot about how unhappy it is and about the beginning of the implementation of these like Russian plans. And here, you know what, I think this is either Mueller or Rosenstein or somebody in their team, because I feel like this is the Hierophant is the Illuminati, right? So I think in this context is the group of powerful people in the government, the right, good people. And this person, it's almost like I feel like this could be Mueller because this is a person who's doing the rightful work. You know what I mean? Because this person has the backing of the people behind the scenes. So this could be Mueller. So Mueller looks into what they're trying to hold on, like what they've done to hold on to what they have. Okay, they also, oh, you know what, guys, this is kind of, I love this. And now I always say whenever I see them, I'm like, guys, there's recordings. I don't know if that's true, but it could be true because it's like conversations about like Russia conversations or like, so I feel like it could also be that stuff comes out. Okay, because we have the sun. So whenever the sun comes out, it means that something is exposed. So there's exposure. Like this man exposes like Russian conversations about the plans that make the country upset. You know, could also be, there could be some sort of leak. Okay, something like the public is more. I feel like what this is also saying is that increasingly the public is on Mueller's side. Okay. That could be too. Exactly. Oh, you're right. Jen is saying that's why they want to describe the visa recordings. Exactly. This could be true because they may know that they already have recordings. And this is what I feel like. Okay. This may be released. Someone might release something. And so this makes the country unhappy. But I think essentially because these may be significant conversations. Like I said, because we have the sun and the sun is about exposing something. And it's exposing, so this man is exposing something related to Russia, and these are conversations. So I think it's possible that something may be leaked or become known. Okay. So, and you know, guys, I'm like right now, it's like sometimes I'm like, whenever I get these messages, right, I feel like I'm seeing them like trying to figure out how they're going to leak this and try to like actually organize with a foreign power to make a foreign maybe country leak this so that they can't, you know, they can't say that it's like it happened in the US or something. They may have something. Okay. So I find that interesting actually when I think about it, right? Because it's like, how do they make this public? So I feel like there's even greater, like I said, because we have here too, just again here, the Hierophant, let me show you. This is the guy, you know, the priest basically, and the other, I forgot how you say it, you know, the high level, high ranking people in the church. And the man, I feel like the man is supported by the priests. And in that sense, it's like the public opinion of the higher people. You know what I mean? The defenders of the country support this man. And I feel like if you think about it, it means that it's the, like, I don't know, it's just the moral support, essentially, right? So the moral fiber of the country is with this man here. So, okay, guys. So that was a lot of information. So let me try to backtrack and see just quickly where we are at. So just starting from now, the country, you know, what's going to happen in February is that starting from where we are, the public is very upset because there's conversations that are revealed about the Russia investigation, and the country is increasingly more completely behind Mueller. Okay, because there's more as more information in this conversation comes out, the country goes, like the vibe of the country goes towards much more, people are even more supportive of Mueller. And then the Democrats in February become aware that they have the answer behind the scenes. They know they have the answer that's going to nail Trump, and they feel like they exercise their leadership more. They're better at basically speaking the values of the world, right? Speaking the values of the country, and they are very aggressive, much more aggressive than they were before in terms of fighting the leadership, like fighting the government, right? The other people in the government who are supporting Trump. So they're very like much more combative, and they feel like they've reached they're in a better position. Okay. And in terms of the FBI, there is this campaign to discredit the FBI and all of the, manipulation. But I think ultimately it's possible that the FBI might actually leak information that shows how this obstruction of justice has been going on for a long time. And actually, this makes me think that the news of Rosenstein, remember how there was recently news that Trump had met with Rosenstein and had told him that are you on my side? Remember this whole thing? I think this could be related to this. Okay. And now, and then now in terms of the Republicans, in terms of, in terms of Mueller's team, there's two separate teams within his team, like two main focuses. One is determining Trump's sort of like the MO of the money laundering operation, like while he was a salesman, but he also had this like money laundering thing in place, how that works, as well as what the Russians did to affect the election, and because they had the common enemy Hillary Clinton, and determining what they needed from Americans in order to do that. Okay. And then we see that Mueller feels like he has an opportunity to give out more indictments. He already has information that proves guilt because of debt. But at the same time, he's holding the cards close to his chest because he feels like the tension hasn't risen to the level where it's like moment to act completely. He's still sort of like thinking that he just does not want to give out as many indictments. And then in terms of the Republicans, what was it? It was Jared. Oh yeah, the Republicans that have collaborated with Mueller. It's going to be hard. Like he's going to cut out some sort of funding situation. There's going to be a sudden ending to something may come out in terms of how the Republicans financed their operations, and their deals may come out, and that's going to create a painful ending for them in terms of their relationship with their donors, possibly, or something along the lines of fundraising. That's probably going to come out. And then we have, in terms of Jared has seized the coffin. Ding dong, Jared. Ding dong, coffin's here. Ding dong, Jared. Ding dong, coffin's here. Yeah, so basically, like they find out how, all the shady stuff he's done in his travels and all the secret dealings he did to get money. Okay, and that's it. It's an ending. Coffin, he's like nailed. Okay, Jared's nailed. And basically, Dotard is seen, who was last seen trying to basically cheat his way out of everything like he's done his whole life, with this ridiculous memo, but that backfires because Mueller ends up using that and like adding that to his case. Okay, so that actually makes Mueller, like it actually, if you think about it, it's saying here in some way that speeds up Mueller's investigation, because that's another thing that proves espionage in some way or other. Okay. And at the very beginning, we have what stage is the investigation in. It's saying that there's a person who's very likely to be Trey Gowdy giving out the information about the network of spy-ish Republicans and the basically treasonous network at large. So that's it, guys. That's the summary for everything that's happening. That was good. That was intense. Wow. March. Yeah. So I feel like we're kind of going in that there's so much information. I'm like, whoa, that was crazy. So much information. Let me like now kind of process everything that was said here. Okay. Yeah, exactly. They were saying, and he's saying the intel community was saying shit was about to get real. Exactly. So I feel like it's just like now, you know, it's funny. I feel like when I started these readings, that's what I wanted to know. Like all this different stuff that's going on, it's very hard, right? It's very hard to deal with all these like different threads. But I think this kind of goes over it, right? It goes over everything that's going on, and it's cool because he used all the Lenormand cards. So I feel like it's you know, it gives us like a good enough, like it just uses all the emotions, basically all of the. Okay, yeah. So that was, oh my God, you guys, you know, and it's only has only been 85 minutes. I mean, not, that's a long time, but it, you know what I mean? It was, I feel like it was kind of, it flew by or something, you know, kind of a, yeah, the Trump show. Yeah, I feel like, you know, it's actually helpful to do this. And I feel like I have to watch it again just to make sure I get everything. Okay. And now, guys, okay, let's see if they're, you know, now I'm like taking the things apart and then getting ready for the next one. So if they think about some other, if you have any questions related to this or related to tonight, you know, everything has come out so far. We can look at, you know, the Rick, whatever situation, just think about it. I'm kind of trying to process here what's going on. Okay, follow my list. Yeah, I don't know. No, I feel like we looked at the list. I did the whole list today for this thing. I did it. And the other item on the list is the one I'm going to do on Saturday, which is the voting, and that's another intense one. Okay, like this. So, but I don't think, like I said, we have room for smaller questions. Okay, so you know what I was thinking? Okay, so we could either do. Yeah. Oh, that's right. That's a good question. What information does Rick Gate give? Because it looks like he's changing. What's going on with the like, yeah, what's going on? Yeah, you know what okay. Oh, you know, Rock. So I feel like actually this is a good. I'm gonna, if I think I'm gonna remember this, but I'm gonna add to the bottom of the questions. Okay. On the voting, this is an interesting question to ask. Okay, because, you know, did you know that that woman, Karen Handel, her husband owns a voting company, okay, a voting machine company, something like that. Can you believe that? I'm sorry, it's not a coincidence. That is not a coincidence. Seriously, not a coincidence. Shady McShade. Oh my God. Yeah, right. It was so strange, right? I feel like that was like it was shady, like ridiculously shady. I feel like I believe so, guys. Because imagine, like, in that position, this people are so shady, and your husband owns voting machines. Like, hello, no, yeah, shady. Okay, so let's interesting. That was, yeah. So I'm gonna do that tomorrow. Not tomorrow, Saturday, because I feel like that has to be just the whole thing about the elections. I'm going to do those together. Okay. And yeah. So now, okay. So now, guys, I thought Angelica had an interesting question, since it's like, it's slightly smaller. Now we have time to do a few, or like a couple, either one medium or one small reading. Okay. Yeah, reality, you know, let's see another, like, maybe, yeah, that's an interesting question, actually. Reality winner. Let's add it to maybe another day. I'll put it in the docket, okay? But now, I feel like I want to do things that are, like, happening now, okay? Right now. Gates, okay, so let's do that. Oh, you know, the other question, the other person I want to do is Turtle. What's happening with Turtle? I've done a reading on him, Mitch McConnell. I've done a reading on him. I don't remember when, but I feel like I kind of want to, like, know what's going on with him. The timeline for Mitch McConnell. What's going on? What's up with him? So let's see. Okay, let's see here. Let's see. I think we have time. I feel like I'm focused today. All right, so let's see here. Let's do Gates because a lot of people have this question. Let's see. I think Angelica's question is a good question. What information? Because I feel like the whole thing came out. The financial stuff coming out is a big deal this month. So I feel like maybe it's Gates who provides it. But let's see. What happens with it's telling me I have half an hour left. So anyway, so let's see here. What happens with Gates? Okay, Gates. What happens with Gates? And what information does he have? If does he agree? Okay, Rick Gates, he's he's saying goodbye to the lawyers. Okay, what information does he provide? Okay, and what happens? What information does he have, and what are the consequences of the information he shares? And then, guys, I'm gonna see what. Okay, and then if we have time, I'll do Mitch McConnell. I'm curious about Mitch McConnell. I don't know. Okay. All right. I'm just going to shuffle this other one. You guys can keep talking. I don't know if you're... What's going on? No. Yeah, but I'll add, anyway, in terms of the Joan Ossoff, I'll add that because on Saturday, I'm doing Scott Walker in Wisconsin. So I feel like I like it when we have very, very specific situations, okay? Because then that's like... It's very, and that's not very easy, but it's one thing to ask like, oh, were the votes so? Okay, they were. But then when you ask a situation that happened or a specific place and specific people that we know about, that's much easier because you have different levels of confirmation. So I feel like that's good. Okay, so that's going to be an intense. I'm going to add that. That's very good. Yeah, because I remember at the time it seemed very strange because I felt like he was almost ahead and he was ahead in the polls. Yeah, exactly. Walker is exactly. Yeah, I think it's like there's like shady stuff going on because I feel like that's the big question of the whole election thing. If they can prove that there was like all this stuff happening, that they really colluded to like steal votes, then that's when we, because that's when the whole thing can be taken apart, that they can say the whole thing was because if it's true, that would justify. And obviously, I'm no scholar and I don't know anything about law or anything like that, but it's just that would be unprecedented. But something has to be done. Imagine if they're like, "Oh, we have proof that the election was totally wrong," right? We have proof that the whole thing was cheated. And somebody asked this question, and I feel like it's not necessary. I don't necessarily want to do it. This question, but someone was like, did Bush steal the election? That back in the day, the election of I think it was Al Gore, and I feel like it's could be possible. But I'm like, it's like it's not necessary to do it now, but it's interesting, to think about it. So anyway, so we'll see. So right now we have what information does Gates have, and how will that? Yes, Cynthia's saying rigged. Yeah, I feel like if those readings I've done before are correct, that this has it's like their MO has been going on for a long time, so they've known how to do this for a really long time. Okay, so I feel like that's what they're going to take apart. They have to take that apart because that helped with this. Oh my God, yeah. But I feel like it's like now it's like they feel so comfortable, right? The Jen said Ben Carson giving HUD contracts to his kids so much. Yeah, I feel like now with the Trump, they're like, oh, all this stuff now everything is up. You could do this. Nobody's gonna get us. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's okay. I don't know how they make this stuff. No consequences exactly. Okay, so tell us about Rick Gates. And is he gonna agree? Gonna give information and what? What is the information? Okay, and what will be the consequences of this information? Yeah. Totally. Oh, and the other thing, yeah. Yeah. Oh, the other thing is that I blackout period. I hope so. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I don't know if you guys follow the Unhack the Vote guy, Mike something, I forgot his name. But he said, I remember a while back, he said that it was very strange that all these states where Trump unexpectedly won, the margin was 1%. Very consistent. That's very strange. People who know data, very bizarre, they say. I don't know anything about it, what is anything supposed to do, but basically, okay, so I feel like, you know, guys, and I'm getting this message, like, almost like a guy, almost like dressed like, you know, like Jesus outfit or something. Like, you know, like on the other side, they're saying like, we gave them this so that everything could come out finally. You're like, oh yeah, go do your shit. Go fuck up. We're watching. Everybody's watching. I feel like it's almost like it was like a divine intervention, you know, in the sense like they wanted them, like, because everything conspired for them. Like if you think about it, right, they so much went into this, them winning this election. And I feel like the gods were almost like, yes, let them, right? Yeah, exactly. The voting machines, exactly. So I feel like they're saying, you know what, go, let's win. Go win because we're going to show everything. Because it's true, guys, if they hadn't won this time, they would have pushed it all the way until they won. Until, you know what I mean? And unless there's consequences, unless everything is pulled from the root, it would continue to happen. And that's the reality. And I feel like even Mueller feels badly, kind of like, because he trusts, you know, I think he was a Republican or he's a Republican or something. So he's like, whoa, like now they're looking at what's really happening. And it's like heartbreaking because it's serious. Oh, and guys, I'm seeing this image of them. And remember there was an FBI raid of some sort of like political consulting office before maybe a month before the Manafort thing came out. Strategic planning something, I forgot what it's called. And I feel like I'm seeing in my mind now them interrogating these people now. They're being very tough with them. They're being like very harsh. And like, because, you know, they're like, these people are tough, the FBI people, and like, they're like interrogating them and they're like, you know, listen, you can give us everything you have or you're going to rot in prison. You know, they're very harsh, like interrogations. So they're like sweating, all these guys, and they have to give out the information. They try to crack them so that, you know, they have access to stuff. I mean, those people are more financial, but I feel like they're like, you know, if you want lenience, you're going to have to give us something. We're not going to let you guys go unless we get something big, because we're not idiots. Okay, so they're like, yeah. And those people that we're not seeing, those people that are not visible, are the ones that may actually give out a lot of information. It's sort of like the guy Papadopoulos, you know what I mean? Sort of like the people that have no defense, that nobody's going to go out and defend them. They are the ones who are the weak links. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so interesting. Exactly, Ryko, yeah. And somebody asked this question, I have to ask it at some point, which is, what's going to happen to the whole Ryko thing in New York? You know, Trump, like, what's going to happen to the state of New York, like their charges against the Trump family and the Trump businesses? What's going to be the outcome of that for them? Okay, so Rick Gates. So what's going on with Rick Gates right now? It's like horrible. Sorry. Oh my God. I don't know what to say. I feel like it's, oh my God. Yeah. Okay. So this is a person who's burdened. And I think I've said it before, even like either yesterday or a couple of days ago, that this card is, I feel like it's a person who obviously is under a lot of stress, but it's also a person who knows a lot. Because if you're holding on to stuff, that means you're burdened basically with secrets. Okay. So there's a clouds. So he's hiding stuff, or there's secrets that he can unburden himself with, but it's like, you know, the shadows. Okay. And this is a family. And I feel like I have a sense this could actually be his family. He's upset that, you know, breaking up his family apart, and guilt. His guilt. It could either mean that it's about his guilt, or that he's feeling terrible. He's very sad about, you know, not seeing his family again. And so, okay. So I feel like this is a lack of clarity about guilt. Okay, lack of clarity. Like, not, he's in the middle. Yeah, guilt. I feel like it's in the middle of like him. He doesn't know what to do, because the clouds is a lack of clarity, not knowing what to do. He knows a lot. He doesn't know what to do, and he feels terrible, horrible about what could happen to his family. And this is a person who he's looking into, like, he's looking inside of himself to think, like, what am I going to do about the secrets? Because he has secrets. And like I said before, the book, also in his case, could mean ledger, right? It could mean accounting, right? So it's like he's thinking about the books, like not just his secret, but the secret books in terms of money. And this is there's like a lot of bullying here. And he knows this is a coffin. So it's very dark. The very dark cards here, guys. So, oh, sorry. So then we have here, I feel like he's, you know what? He's weighing whether the secret's gonna kill him. Okay, like literally. Like, I think he's thinking like the secret could, I'll show you the other cards. So basically he's weighing whether the secret is gonna kill him, or it's like, okay, yeah. So I feel like here we have, I feel like right now he still has the secrets. Like, he still has the stuff. It's hidden. He doesn't know what to do. So he's like, lack of clarity about the secret. So once he, like, this is like not knowing what's going to happen, and like not knowing what's going to happen, and feeling terrible guilt, feeling horrible about his family. Okay. And then he understands that this is this is like you know, guilt is going to come to an end of guilt, or the guilt, or painful death, or horrible death. So I feel like either he got, honestly, I think it's very possible. Like, think of his options. Basically, he talks and dies. He spends his life in prison and dies, you know, just by being in prison his whole life. Or he could, like, his guilt could kill him. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of things. It's like the guilt of the family, the actual guilt that he has puts him at life risk. And so he's weighing whether unburdening himself is going to lessen the guilt he feels about his family. That's ultimately what I think it is, because he has a lot. Like, the secrets are heavy, right? It's like a lot. He knows a lot. And he knows where the bodies are buried, right? He knows what's under the clouds. So he talks. Okay, so if he talks, he could die. But if he doesn't, the family could suffer. So I feel like from his perspective, it's, oh, you know, guys, what I'm thinking? I'm thinking that maybe part of the negotiation is putting him under witness protection program. Something like that. Okay, they're telling him, like, he's like, what's going to happen to my family? I don't want to lose my family. I want to protect them. You know, stuff like that. Because if he really is dealing with, and it looks like it was possible that he dealt with the Russian mafia, I'm sure they would go at, right? I don't know how these people, like, kind of shady, like really scary, right? So I feel like for him, it's like, it's mild to say between a rock and a hard place, but it's like, basically, he is guilty. He knows he's guilty. It's like about his family, ultimately. Like, does he want his family to suffer? Yes or no? And could he die? Like, would he die if he talks? And all those things. Okay, so it's just like he's going through the armit, meaning he's looking inside of himself to see what choice he needs to make. Okay, so that was intense. Rick Gates. Okay, so just drink something. Okay, so that was what's going on with him. Now, does he, okay, and I feel like, okay, in the near future, does he end up talking? Okay, does he end up talking in the near future? Does it get, you know, what does it do? This is it. I think so. Yeah. So this is a message, probably a good message. Offer. This is also an offer, okay? So he's happy. This is a heart. He's happy. An offer that makes him happy. Yeah, I feel like this tells us, guy, because it's like quiet behind the scenes, hidden. So he's hidden dog, right? So he's a collaborator. Like I feel like he's a loyal person. Like, oh, you know, okay, this is what I'm. No, this is not what I think it is. Okay, I'll show you guys. This is basically from this perspective as a loyal person. He's happy to be loyal. He's happy to do a good, you know, to be loyal behind the scenes. But you know what I think this means? His role. Okay, so it's like, does he talk? So this is it. I have to show you the other thing. So this is the family upside down, okay? And I think ultimately this could be the, you know, the Trump's family, the criminal family, or everybody connected to that family because we have a snake here. So he's happy to snitch, basically, right? He's gonna get an offer that's gonna make it attractive for him to talk. Oh, and you know, guys, I'm getting here. I'm getting that they're like, that they pushed him all to the edge mentally. And that to break him, they were like, you know what? We're going to let you keep some of the money. I feel like, you know, they kind of sweetened the deal for him a little bit so that he doesn't feel so, I feel like it doesn't, that's what I'm feeling. I feel like they're kind of like, he's almost at the point where he could talk, and they really negotiate. And they're like, when he feels like he can't do it, they're like, you know what? We'll let you have a life that's sort of okay. You know, it's not going to be as harsh as you think it is. You just have to hide. And, you know, at least for a few years until everything, you know, the dust settles or whatever. Okay. And we have here the world with the Russian power. I'm sorry, the foreign power. So I feel like, okay, we'll talk out. This is going to make more sense. Okay. So the question is whether he talks. And here is the snake. Okay. The snake family related to the world of the foreign power. I feel like, you know, if we agree that there's some sort of like a rush, he tells the world, he tells them about the entire family all over the world that's related to the foreign power. Okay, so he gives out, this is the information that he gives out, I believe. Okay, so yeah, so he talks and gives the entire world network of the foreign power, like all their, you know, their world, basically. Okay, that how that world operates. And if we look at these together, I feel like when he realizes that he could have a pretty good deal from Mueller in the sense of like he could be protected, his family could be protected, then he's happy, I think, to cooperate. But when he talks about the loyalists to Russia as well behind the scenes. Okay, so I feel like sometimes I've said this before. This is a loyal person. What are they loyal to? They're loyal to the foreign power. Okay, so in a way, it doesn't go both. Like I have to remember that. Yeah, I guess it could, but basically, it says the people who are loyal to the foreign power, and he's happy to be a snake, doing what? Basically, talking about the world of foreign power and who behind the scenes, because we have the other card here, who the loyal people are. Okay, so that's kind of heavy stuff. I feel like what I get, because I feel like this is the near future, right? So it's like I feel like a weight shifts from his shoulders when he realizes like the good that he will do, even though it's very scary for him. He realizes it doesn't have an option, but at the same time, the information that he provides is actually very helpful, and that in the end will crack the case, quote unquote, because I feel like he has the financial keys. Okay, he has information that could really prove guilt. Okay, all right. So, and I feel like I'm getting a sense that Manafort is actually already threatening him. So anyway, so okay, so that's like if it talks. Now, what happens to the Mueller investigation? Like, what does he say? What is the actual information that he reveals? Okay. Oh, don't worry. I'm just like I'm focused here. Okay, right now on this thing. Weird. Guys, I feel like it's repeating the cards of the Republicans. It's very strange. Okay. So okay, this is the spy people. Okay. So what is the information that he gives? The spy people and the scythe. So the spy people that are going to get cut. Their reputations are going to cut. Okay, so this is magician upside down. That's a, trickster. So they're the gifts to the trickster. You know what, guys, remember? Now I'm remembering, I forget about this. He worked in Trump's campaign. Okay, remember? I think he was the treasurer, actually, if I recall correctly. He was the treasurer because he was the guy. Remember, people were saying, "Oh, Rick Gates, he did when Manafort was talking and working. He was the guy behind the scenes who got who organized the details. So he knows where the bodies are buried money-wise. So this is like the shady trickster and the gifts that he received. Okay, so that cuts, right? So in a way, I feel like what that means is like that cuts the gift, and I feel like what it means essentially is that it kills the defense. He cuts, it gets it. And here is like it cuts the reputation. I feel like I said, it's almost like it. I think it talks about the Republicans because the cards are almost the same as the ones that I had for the Republicans. So guys, you know why? Because I feel, remember how the reading just before now, I asked what happens in February to the Republicans, and these are almost the same cards. So I feel like he talks about the Republicans a lot in the network. Okay, so because this affects how they are seen in the world. Okay, this person and everybody involved with these gifts. And who are they? The mice. And the quid pro quo. He reveals the quid pro quo. Okay, I'll put it together. The corrupt people involved in the quid pro quo. And this is a place in the world. Angelica, this is, I believe, Angelica as NRA. I don't think, honestly, Angelica, this is like something a little bit different. I think he's talking about his position and what he knows. We don't know exactly, but basically, I don't like. There's no right. It's difficult to insert some that kind of thing is difficult to insert. But basically, position in the world was built. This is kind of interesting. This position in the world, how others see them, was built out of quid pro quos. Okay, so they've learned. He's going to give out this information about how they've learned. Okay, so cuts how they're seeing the world, and it cuts the gift. So essentially, I feel like by revealing this information, he destroys their ability, like their fundraising deals. Let's say it's because, again, the corruption is behind, the quid pro quo corruption is behind how they raise money. So it's like they raise money by offering. It's exactly, we know that about them, right? That they offer like, oh, if you own a company, just give us money and we'll do whatever you want. So they survive through quid pro quo. Okay, and they have the shady, the trick story bullshit that they're trafficking. The whole like hypocrisy bullshit that they do constantly. But the reality, like the bread and butter is the quid pro quo corruption, and that's how they build their reputation. Okay, now there's a card of disappointment underneath. So I feel like that's gonna there would be a lot of disappointment in the world. Like people will be disappointed at them once this comes out. And also, I forgot to talk about this card. This is a card of spies. So this is a big deal too, right? It's saying that not only is there a quid pro quo, but I feel like actually the whole spy and the site thing here, I think they would suggest that he knows about the blackmail, or how by intensifying the quid pro quo, they also almost kill themselves, right? In a way that it's like the money cuts their reputation, right? In a way that this money that they created something sudden also kills them. So it's like it becomes their poison in a different way. So that's kind of how I feel like this actually talks more about, in a way, more about Republic, even though here is a dotard, is like the trickster underneath. So, but I feel like ultimately, this information is really, yeah. That's kind of how it goes, I feel like. Yeah. It's like the cutting price of corruption, right? So it's like it could kill, like, you know how, for example, we feel like, oh, you know, Trump, like he has all these like scandals that would have sunk any politician before, like the whole thing with like paying off the, what is it called, the porn star, and all those 100. He's like by now he's had like dozens of scandals so far that haven't sunk him. But I feel like this is the talking about the scandals that will sink, okay, something. And I feel like the scandal is this, that like what sinks them is the spying, the fact that they sold, okay, oh my god, you think they, but yeah, so they basically, I feel like they basically cut themselves, or it's like they committed suicide against themselves, okay, by engaging in this level of corruption. So, okay. But Jen said, I always get the feeling Carter Page's dumbass persona is an act, so he gets away with spying. Actually, no, guys, I think you've seen it. Rachel Maddow talked about it before a couple of times, how he was involved in a spy case. Actual spies from Russia were laughing at him, saying that that guy is so dumb. Oh my God, I can't believe what an idiot. They were caught because the FBI had put like recording devices in some binders, something like that, and they got the binders and put these binders in like a place there in the embassy, Russian embassy there, and they were recording all their conversations. So in one of the conversations, they were talking about him, because they're like, oh yeah, you know, we're recruiting this guy. He's so dumb. Oh my God, what an idiot. So I think he's actually is an idiot. Oh, she is. Interesting. So guys, we have like 3 minutes. Anything else? I think we got, I mean, I think that's very clear, right? What's going to happen. Let's see what happens to him in like, where is he at in like 10 years or something? What happens? I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like he does okay. I feel like, okay. Yeah. No. So I feel like we have, you know, I think he ends up everything. I think it's like his life is not going to be as easy as it was before, but I think he ultimately rebuilds. Okay. So that's that, guys. That was Rick Gates and how his information is going to affect everything. Okay, destroy the Republicans. And yeah, and then so guys, as you know, there's nothing tomorrow. I'm back on Saturday at 6 p.m. when I discuss the it's going to be a big one, I think, Saturday, you know, the whole thing about the election. Okay. Yes. Let's hope for that. Yeah, let's send light to him. Yes. So yes. Thank you, guys. So yeah, so tomorrow, no, not tomorrow, 6 o'clock on Saturday, we talk about the voting, all the voting shady stuff by Rocket Scott. So bye, guys. See you later. See you this weekend. Okay. Enjoy your Friday and have a good weekend, and we'll see each other soon. Bye.